Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? Brandon Weaver here once again. And if you ain't part of the subscribe tribe yet, you want to hit that bell for notifications right after you hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, put down below, I'm part of the subscribe tribe. I'm getting my credit squared away. You want to build good credit, man? You want to build some credit? Well, good. You found the right channel. All right? So today I'm talking about a few things that might be holding up your credit repair and your credit down, how you can rectify them, why it's important to get those hard inquiries removed, and why and how you might want to remove the support, the old child support stuff. Okay, so stick with me. Here we go. Now, let's go through this process, go right into the middle of it, and why hard inquiries and having so many inquiries might be an issue and why you might want to do it. There's probably information out there where people are like, look, inquiries don't make up much of your credit mix. 10% is new credit. 10% is not that big of a deal. It goes down a little bit, or maybe it didn't go down enough. It didn't go down enough to deal with it or dispute it or remove it. Hey, sometimes that's not the case, and you need to get business funding. Sometimes it is the case and it's not a problem, and you can have the hard inquiries on there. For non-account holding inquiries, it's okay. But if you're trying to get business funding, if you're trying to get business credit, if you're trying to get business loans, you're trying to get stuff squared away for your business, and you're given a PG or a personal guarantee, as they say, you can't be having a ton of hard inquiries, because they're gonna think that you're thirsty, that you need money, that you're like, hey, he already had and tried to get $50,000 or $100,000 worth of funding. Now he's trying to get $50,000 or $100,000 again in funding. Okay, so that's why the hard inquiries become a problem. Also, if you're going for new loans, maybe not if it's business, but it's on the commercial side, your personal side, okay, and you're like, well, now I need to get a car loan or a mortgage, but I had all these hard inquiries from when I was trying to get my business funding. You see how it works? Now they're gonna look at your risk. The underwriter's gonna say, well, now he's thirsty. He just started this business. He or she doesn't have the means to pay back all this stuff, okay? And some of these hard inquiries are not gonna be attached to accounts. They're not gonna have debt attached to them. You might be okay to go ahead and get them removed, okay? That's the big thing that I've recognized, is that the inquiry removals are helpful to you when you need to go and get your funding and the underwriters don't understand what they're looking at. Because a lot of times you're gonna get all these inquiries during a certain period of time, and they don't understand that, hey, this is just supposed to look like one inquiry, and it's not supposed to bring my score down. I have good credit. I personally have had good credit, and I've had to explain to underwriters, I've had to explain to reconsideration lines why I want or need another credit card. A lot of times it would be because I was giving a personal guarantee and was trying to get a Delta Sky Amex Business or a Citi business card, a Citi business card, or a Capital One Spark card, or an Amex Platinum card. It still happens. I still have to call because of all these inquiries. And I don't have a lot of inquiries in the past year or two. And I still have to call. Now, of course, they're attached to cards and attached to, you know, a good open account, so I'm not gonna mess with them. But they're not in the algorithm. So why should I have to call? It's because of how many I've had in such a short period of time, even in 24 months. It's amazing what you can do with travel, flyer, miles, and see the world and expand your mind. But it comes with some inquiries, right? So if you've got inquiries and you don't have debt attached to it, you want to go ahead and dispute those non-account holding inquiries. All right, and there's a whole way and web to do it. You can get it at 609creditrepair.com, or we can do it for you. Okay, they usually purge applications after 90 days, having your quote-unquote permissible purpose or your applications, something of this nature, they may no longer have on file. And a lot of times they drop off. And in many cases, you didn't necessarily give that permissible purpose to run 15,000 times a shotgun blast, and you didn't know what you were getting yourself into at the dealership, and they ran your credit down so they could get a big old, nice, thick commission and incentive and kickback and split that interest with the bank. All right, so it's wild, it's nasty. Yes, that's what happens. Basically, they're running you around trying to get the best loan for themselves so they can go ahead and knock out some extra cash on the financing side. So when you're getting that car, they're getting more money. Yeah, it's nasty. And that really should be worked out and looked at. To me, it seems like it's a conflict of interest, and it isn't fair. And that's what we talk about: fair debt collection practice act, fair credit billing act, fair credit reporting act. FACTA starts with fair, okay? So that is something that could be holding you up and you want to take care of. Now, some other things that could be holding you up, your utilization. I know, it's wild, I know. But utilization is an issue. Paying your cards down, getting the balances down can really dramatically shift your scores if possible. If not, AU trade lines, friends and family, trade lines, boosting up and having more available credit than you're using. Your utilization is a big issue, all right? Moving a balance to something that might be 0% if you have the ability and the means to do so. I know some of y'all doing better out there. Some of y'all doing better and just need a little bit more time so y'all can get that squared away, and you can do that. Known as, you know, moving a balance, floating a balance, surfing it, what else they call it? They call it, yeah, just balance transfer. I mean, that's really what you do. And you can get cards out there that give you good promotional rates and get those APRs down if you really need extra time. You can reach out to them and do goodwill letters to get these little late payments off. That's another thing that might be holding you up, just the late payments. If you've got 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 30, 60, right in a row, and then you're good again and you were good before that, you can get that human-to-human personal contact. You can call if you need to. You could send a letter. You could say, hey, this is what was going on in my life. You know, I was having a tough time. I was going through knee surgeries. I was going through a hip surgery. I'm sick. I'm losing a whole bunch of weight because I'm having physical ailment issues. I had a pinched nerve in my neck. I couldn't eat nothing. My intestines were all messed up. These are just things that I went through. I'm a young man. Please help me out. That kind of stuff. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Okay, that held me up. I was able to get negatives off. I was able to get delinquencies, charge-offs, all this nastiness off. But I had these late payments on my student loans. I sent goodwill letters. I had to go through a couple of rounds and a couple of calls. It's not overnight. It's not overnight. And that's holding you up too, is belief that potentially these goodwill letters should be overnight, and then you go and you send one and you're like, ah, well, it's not worth it. It's been 30 days. I'm not gonna try anymore. No, keep on it. Keeping up, sending stuff every 30 days to the bureaus, to the collection validation letters, your goodwill letters, staying on top of it. That is what's gonna make the difference. If you feel like you can't stay on top of it, you need us to do it, theawesomelifegroup.com. We will do it for you. We will stay on top of it. We'll call you. We will be your guiding light. We'll let you know what needs to happen next and what you need to accomplish, okay? So, that is fantastic. Now, something else that I want to talk to you about, all right? And what we believe is going to make the difference for you in the long term with your credit. So we talked about the utilization, we talked about the inquiries, we talked about what's holding you up. This nastiness of the support, okay? The nastiness of the judgments, okay? The liens, those are off of there. Why? Because they were having such a tough time with the public records. Now, if you have support issues on there, of course, you need to be paying, gotta be paying, right? As long as you're not in the rears, you're paying on time, pays as agreed, it's not supposed to be there anymore. You can go ahead and dispute that. It's supposed to come off. Now, I know there's a whole stuff out there about whether it should be on there or not because it's not consumer, it's the civil stuff and all this stuff. But what I want to say to you is that yes, it's possible. You could potentially remove it, get it off, that sort of stuff, but you need to still be paying on it because it could come back if you stop paying. If you're in the rears, they're gonna ask you to pay, that kind of stuff. But if you're on time, paid as agreed, or it's paid off, or you're done with, yeah, especially if you paid it off and you're done with it. If you're all done and square, it's done, man. No more. Dispute and get it off. I've seen people have it removed and have be in good standing once again and not affect you as much. Supposedly, you know, oh, it's not supposed to be weighted as much and this and that. But yeah, it's sitting there. It looks like it's a collection. It's not looking good for you. And you want to knock that out. Anything that's negative, anything that shouldn't be there, dispute that. See if they violated your rights. 609creditrepair.com, 609 letters. We're going to start disputing stuff. You got collection validation letters. At my process, it will outline the whole process to you in the video series. Outline it, how you do it, how you remove bankruptcies, okay? Because the bankruptcy is really the only public record that's really chilling there anymore. A lot of the other stuff has come off. How do you deal with certain assets and liabilities being out wrong and incorrect on Pacer and LexisNexis and the bureaus, and how you can dispute all of those and dispute Pacer. I'm gonna do a whole video on how we can dispute Pacer and LexisNexis and get evictions off that you've seen some other videos get evictions off, more advanced stuff coming for you. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I go live. So if you have certain specific issues that you wanna ask me, you can do so on my live calls and my live videos here on YouTube, all right? So If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me. Put down below when you hit that subscribe button, put subscribe tribe, hit this, give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. And guys, I really appreciate you. We're at 55,000 subscribers. I appreciate every one of you. You guys are helping one another, commenting and helping me do what I do, so I appreciate you. All right? Now, if you need help, email me, put in the comments below how well you're doing. And until I see you in person, I will see you on the other side. Take care.